So I haven't made a video for the last couple of weeks, so I thought I would provide you with an update on my progress. But given the time of the year, also please accept my best wishes for Ramadan, for Passover, and for Easter. By virtue of the fact that I'm sitting outside, it feels pretty good that the spring is here and all the good things that come with that. Last Friday was exactly 6 weeks since I had my surgery, which in equal measure feels like a really long time ago. It feels like it might have been just yesterday. But what I'd say is, from a surgery recovery perspective, things have gone really well for me. I went back to see my surgeon to get all of the staples and stuff out a couple of weeks ago, which was really good. And I actually don't need to see him again for 3 months, which also felt good. It felt like the surgical phase of this had come to an end. It also felt really nice to have the staples out because I was healing really well. And the staples felt a bit like they were getting in the way. So that was a good milestone to get through. Throughout the weeks after my surgery, I've been going to physio for an hour, 3 times a week. And I can't stress enough how important that physio is. So after an amputation, you get kind of 2 periods of physio. You get the post-surgical strength recovery period, which is maybe, I think, 12, 14 hours. Um, and for me, having been immobile for so long and sick, just, regardless of building my strength back up, just being active in the gym 3 times a week made me feel alive. So that's so good for your morale as you recover from the surgery. So I would urge you to get your physio booked and go, and do the work on the days you don't go to physio. Maybe give yourself one day off a week. You then get a second block of physio, which is best described as gait and prosthetic training, that you can obviously only do when you've had your prosthetic fitted. So essentially, your physio is in 2 blocks: your post-surgical strength, balance, all of that stuff, and then your gait and prosthetic training. My physio, Stephen Baker at Atletico in Southlake, had a ton of experience dealing with below the knee amputees, and I would say that that's really, really important. That you find somebody who's got exactly the experience that relates to the surgery that you've just had. So that's been super important. What makes these 6, 8 weeks after surgery really difficult is that, there's nothing they can do with the prosthetic. You have to heal. So you are wheelchair bound for that length of time. And were it not for knowing that the end was somewhere in sight, be it a month or be it 2 months down the line, you would probably go out of your mind. I certainly would. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is something of an elephant in the room, which I've known about, but you guys don't. And it's this handsome finger injury that I am also sporting. So in my last video, I talked a lot about safety and mitigating against the chances of falling over, knowing your own limits, and all of that good stuff. Well, I managed to ignore every single piece of advice I made in that video. So a couple of Saturdays ago, I had already started kind of taking a few liberties with the advice that you're given by your doctors and physios. So I was feeling pretty good. And I was kind of hopping around the house quite a lot, which is stupid. But on one Saturday night, I was getting up early the next morning because I was going to watch a Celtic game. So I thought, and I never do this, I thought I'll set up the coffee machine tonight so I can easily do that in the morning. And I was hopping across the kitchen with a mug in my hand, lost my balance, did the whole thing, and slammed my left hand on the underside of the countertop. Mug smashed, gave myself 6 stitches and the need to have a flexor tendon repair, which is already done, and it will be fine. But look, I guess I feel relieved that I've gotten this far and really protected my residual limb, because any damage to that delays my recovery. But it goes without saying, I was really irritated with myself for even doing it. The good news was that the following morning Celtic won, But the bad news is that this morning Celtic lost. So if ever there was a case of you win some, you lose some, it's that. Anyway, the more I look at this thing, this protective cast, this kind of suit of armor for your index finger, the more it reminds me of okay, maybe it was a stretch. Also referencing back to a previous video, is the whole phantom limb pain thing, and I had said I was going to have acupuncture to see if that would help with it, which I have. I've had 2 sessions. Our acupuncturist, Emily, is going to come onto the blog and have a conversation with me about using acupuncture for phantom limb pain, because I think everything that she has talked about and shown me will be really interesting to anyone else in the same situation. But it's been fascinating because she's been taking a lot of the same logic that you find in mirror therapy, in that the needling she's done has been on my left foot, my existing foot, such that it has an effect on my phantom limb pain in my missing foot. And I mean, sneak preview, it's been incredible. The other thing that she's been doing, which I'm also going to get her to talk about, is guided meditation. Now, I, on the one hand, have always been reluctant to do stuff like that because I can't concentrate for very long. So meditation was always a bit of a reach for me. But I am very open to understanding that these things can work. Having guided meditation with someone you know and someone you trust is actually amazing, and has been an equally important part of the phantom limb pain management as the acupuncture. Again, I reiterate, like, Emily's our friend and I know her and trust her, which does make that a lot easier. But I've been really enjoying it and really excited about the next session. Actually, this weekend, there's been a really interesting, albeit uncomfortable, phantom limb pain phenomenon, and that is, I'd been warned that if the weather is such that the barometric pressure drops significantly, your phantom limb pain will get proportionally worse. And again, you think, yeah, maybe. Oh my God, it's absolutely true. So last night, the barometric pressure really dropped, the humidity went up, it's going to be a storm and rain. I have had the worst phantom limb pain in the last 12 hours as I've had since I had my foot amputated. So I will be watching the weather forecast going forward far more vigilantly than I ever have done in the past. Who can see Daddy Pig?
Yeah.
So I've been joined by my youngest daughter, Maisie. Say hello, Maisie.
Hello, Mimi.
No, say hello.
Hello, Dad.
Hello. So next steps for me are literally next steps. And here's my next biggest daughter,
Hello.
Lily, who's going to say hello. There she is. Hi. Okay, so next steps for me are literally next steps. So throughout the last 6 weeks, I've been in regular contact with Dave, my prosthetic guy, who has been feverishly working on putting my my bionic leg together, or robot leg, as these girls call it. I have had my test socket fitting last week, which was really encouraging. But then, believe it or not, this coming week, I'm going to see and trial and road test my new leg and foot for the very first time. So that's super exciting. Bye-bye.
I'm playing outside.
You're playing outside, good. So the next videos I'm going to make for this blog are going to be the interview with my acupuncturist. I'm also going to ask my physio to talk about working with amputees at getting their strength back and their mobility back and so on. And then the next set of videos that I make will be in the gym, meeting robot leg and trying to walk for the first time. So they're the exciting videos when you think back to me making a video sitting in the car with Mary on the way to the hospital to literally go and get my leg chopped off, to be in a situation where I'm now making videos of learning to walk again. It's really very, very exciting. So thank you for sticking with me throughout this time, and and hopefully the next videos are going to be in a really positive place.